Alright, and welcome back after the rehost. One of the players from Havoc disconnected in the first round, and then we had a little bit of technical issues. But we are finally back. The bans were Mira, Echo, Buck, and Thermite. Yeah, it was. So, first round again, we are going to see, that's Quantum. I think Quantum going to Armory and Lockers.
Yeah, actually, Armory is a very viable site. Same for second floor, definitely more popularized than other sites on this map. And that's with good reason, because like second floor there's just so much space to play vertical, play aggressive, and there's so many spots to pick in back the side if you want to go for a long hold. Anyway, Xeon 6 picking onto Pulse, very interesting pick, as Pulse is a very strong operator for diffuser denial. But Tim's definitely gonna counter him, because he's playing like you.
We're going to see the Pulse probably play downstairs, of course, with the cardiac sensor, being able to see if anyone is planting, but I do expect perhaps a roam clear downstairs, because Border is kind of a smaller map compared to the other maps available. So I do expect Pulse to be droned out and pushed. I don't think he'll be very effective in the long run. Telephone trying to go for a Maestro camera onto the lockers there through this vault. Seeming to struggle a little bit here, as we're just watching him fall time and time again.
Maverick's definitely doing an interesting setup. I guess. Oh,
sorry, what's Maverick doing?
Well, probably just trying to get onto shells, but I don't think he knows how to.
Yeah, Maverick's struggling to get onto the Pengu spot here on Border.
Oh, that's why you call it Pengu spot?
Pengu's renowned for the spot. He does a lot on this. Telephone vaulting over it as well.
You need a crouch for that, I think. Oh, Puerto Rico definitely. Oh, finding a headshot onto Maverick.
Maverick may be going for the east stairs run out there. I don't see how else he could have died. Can you bring the camera to east stairs?
No, I think he got killed. Oh, Spix finding another kill and gets dropped by Logic. Now, it's a 3v5, but that was a very good kill that Pat picked up early on Maverick. I think he wall banged all the way from balcony actually.
Yeah, and as I expected, the Pulse gets taken out extremely easily in the first, not even the first minute, first like 2 seconds of the round, I guess.
Oh, and Tim
actually taking out the Bakla on 90 hallway there. Expecting the push from Bakla, I think that was unnecessary, and now leaves them in a disadvantage of 4v2. And Telephone is actually also on 20 HP from the Hibana, as he goes for the peek and actually dies through the Hibana. And now it's a 1v4 as Tim finally takes out Logic, and that will be round 1 to Havoc.
Oh, Tim actually was focusing that camera way longer than we expected.
Yeah, he didn't seem to be able to take out the camera, but. Quantum, they're playing far too aggressive for their own good, losing 2 men in the first 40 seconds of the round, and then peeking unnecessary peaks, like Bakla trying to go for a flank, even though Havoc does have the man advantage, so there will obviously be a flank watch if they play it properly. So Bakla losing his life there unnecessarily, and then we're going to see the Maestro flying Telephone. He was pinned down, granted, but he did go for the peak instead of slowing things down and lost his life. And then we're going to finally see someone rotating back onto site way too late. Just for a late rotate, he wasn't even on site and gets taken out by Tim. So Quantum having a series of mistakes there, it could have been played far better. We're going to see them going back to Armory and Lockers.
Definitely a weak point in that defense was definitely Maverick being taken out too easily, already too early. Probably tried to do a roam, but then Pat just, pre-picked him.
See, my second question is, why is the smoke being taken out first? This smoke is an important operator for defending any site. Like, he has the Toxic Babes, which are, I think they last for like 10-15 seconds, and completely deny the plant. With the 7 seconds plant timer, you will not be able to stick out a plant if the smoke goes off immediately. And the smoke actually takes down a significant amount of your health every tick. So, and losing your smoke as the first operator is definitely not something you want to do, especially if you're on Armory.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I think just because Maverick went down that easily, and of course I do agree with you on what you said. But Smoke as an operator as a whole, with his guns and access to his gadgets, definitely he is in somewhat of a weak spot if you don't really know how to play him that well. Since his only other alternative is another SMG, which doesn't really do that much damage, but definitely can pull off game-breaking plays. But anyways, we can see Sphinx pushing into CC with Logic being right.
I have a question. Is his name Lamb or is his name Sphinx?
Sphinx.
Then what? Okay, never mind. We're actually gonna see the Jackal come out. So I think Havoc was maybe expecting Quantum to move into the first floor, which is usually why they bring up Jackal. Jackal isn't really necessary usually when attacking onto Armory, because you're not going to need that much roam clear on attacking of Armory. Maybe a little bit downstairs, but that can be easily done with droning because there's not much to roam downstairs.
Yeah, and Zilla, just tracking Valkyrie. But this is actually a very interesting hold that Bakla is doing right now. Reinforcing the whole office wall, stopping any breaches that could possibly come in. But
yeah.
But definitely, I think
Bakla's trying to have the complete control of office. And he expects a push into maybe archives here.
Oh, and Sphinx!
Sphinx just walking into
what?
sight.
Maverick! What are you doing? Maverick positioning majority of shots, and Bakla takes down Sphinx. But
Sphinx just walks into sight from main stairs and gets 3 kills as Maverick does potato, and but Bakla getting the refrag, and now we're in a 2v1 situation for Havoc as Bakla pushes back into Armory, gets 1 kill onto Hibana actually, and the last person is by office side, and Bakla and Tim both on full HP. Tim is actually on site. He's going to go for the plant, actually faking the plant, and we're going to see Bakla go for a little push. C4's the wall, trying to make another rotation for him, or a sightline, but Tim is getting pinged out and is taken down. Actually, it's gonna, there's the Jackal still left, I didn't see that, so it's a 1v1 now, as the IQ is taken out, but Jackal is also on full HP compared to Bakla, who is also on full HP, actually. Not taking any damage from the engagement with IQ. Bakla going for the peak, and then taking out Zayla. That is a 1v3 for Bakla. I think that was 4 kills, if I recall. That was extremely well played from Bakla, and of course the Valkyrie cameras there, or the Maestro camera, was a huge play in that, as you could see Tim and Zayla were continuously getting pinged out. So there was the call on where they were, what they were doing. So even though it was a man deficit, Bakla still did have the advantage in information, and his teammates must have done really well to give him that information that he needs.
Yeah, definitely. And just, Bakla is actually really well known for his clutching ability, and he is a very good player. And I wouldn't say this is awkward, but more or less this is kind of like a somewhat awkward thing for Bakla, since he used to play for Tim, and now that they're actually voicing each other in a scrim, BO2 I believe. It's just overall pretty weird, I would say. But
yeah, Bakla's actually playing against his old teammates in Zayla and Tim. So I don't exactly know what happened. I don't know why like a lot of the other players joined Quantum, but it did happen, and we're just gonna see some old teammates face off against each other now.
And definitely, but Bakla's definitely improved a lot. Well, not saying that he was bad. Bakla's a really good player in that. But just by joining Quantum, I would say his ability to play and just frag out has definitely increased by a large amount, and well, he's definitely become a better player overall. But anyways,
I don't think it's necessarily that he became a better player. I think it's just he was given more space to flourish. He was given more space to do what he wants, and just being that entry fragger or first fragger for Quantum.
Okay, Maverick, playing on the smoke again, definitely. I guess he's the dedicated smoke, apparently. Doing his job-ish. Oh! Nearly getting shot by just staring at that wall. You see the bullet hole. It's only so far away from his face. With
we are actually going to see an animation bug here. As Maverick is holding the impact time, and we can actually see if he was reinforcing. But the player in Office is actually droned out. Not Office, sorry. In Tellers is droned out. That would be Bakla. But he does take down Sphinx. Where was Sphinx?
He was on the second floor, bro, if I'm not wrong. But anyway, Bakla and very near Tim and Pat. Now definitely, Zila getting killed by Xeon. Very hard
We're
to
gonna
pronounce.
see Xenon actually run out from Armory window, I'm gonna assume, and taking out Zayla.
Yeah, but anyway, that's a very good run out, definitely caused some damage. Taking out Zila, now no one's gonna be able... Oh! Fish gets the frag onto Bakla, now taking him out. Putting this into a 3v4 situation. Now Fish is gonna have to...
Yes, but Fish is also on very low HP now. So we're actually going to see Quantum, the rest of Quantum still have full HP or near full HP. So I don't see how Havoc can actually pull this off anymore.
Well, they can because Tim and Pat are definitely really good fraggers, and hopefully Fishes too. I really haven't seen him play in that many scrims. Or I think he's a newly recruited member. But anyways, yeah, definitely Tim and Pat can possibly pull this off. Now some shots are being fired into Workshop, no one is getting tagged. Now all three of them are actually pushing on this with no one watching the flank, and that's actually really dangerous. As you can see, that Logic is actually on the second floor, and him jumping down could possibly get them killed. Now Mary getting the SMG headshot, Xeon also pulling the kill onto Fish and taking the one onto Tim, and that is round 3 won by Team Quantum. Now those were definitely very good plays, and just overall,
Wait a second. The Twitch opened the wall in Passport with a breaching charge.
Yeah.
That I don't see the logic in that. Twitch, I kind of see what he was thinking. Push from another angle, and not push one door at the same time. But he also did expose himself completely to a new angle, and the rest of his teammates as well. And obviously without droning customs. And therefore, it almost single-handedly lost him the round, even though the round looked like a lost cause in the first place. It didn't help that he opened the wall up without droning what's behind the wall.
Yeah, definitely, I do agree with you. He probably could have just wall-banged him, but that's in the past. But anyway, Spix is on Twitch and Fish is on the Jackal. Definitely more or less the same operators, but Pat is off Hibana, apparently. Yeah. But he's very strong on Hibana. Right? But
you're not actually going to see a hard breacher from Havoc, which interests me. Not even a 6th pick for a hard breacher.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, Quantum defending customs, and those are very, very good areas to actually defend.
I mean, customs and bathroom are two very interchangeable sites. It doesn't really matter which one you play. It's up to preference. Let's be honest.
Yeah, definitely. But if you think about it, customs is actually a really, really viable site.
I mean, yeah, it is viable, but only if you play it correctly.
Yeah.
That's kind of a given, of course, but you have to have proper upstairs control for it to work. You can't just stay downstairs, because once they have upstairs control, they can have so much vertical play. We can see the Jackal bring the shotgun. I'm gonna assume Twitch has more breaching charges, maybe IQ as well, yeah, and they also have the Zofia. Opting not to go for the buck, not the buck, the sledge actually. But even then, if they do take upstairs control, they do have a lot of power over the site.
Well, actually, on the conversation of sledge, Tim is actually a good sledge player. I'm actually very shocked. And looks like Xey's trying to go for the run out, probably tagged Fish for some amount, and they're also having some push in from break room. But it looks like a rotate is coming out here, but Xeon is not quite reading the situation that is happening right now. Now Sphinx fires some shots into the room, doesn't quite find anyone yet. But pings are out, and Logic finding the kill onto Sphinx by running out through Armory. Wow, it's a real surprise that he didn't just decide to possibly frag.
Bakla is running out from East Stairs, actually getting a kill onto Patoriku, and Xenon going for another aggressive peek onto Fish, getting another kill, and now we're in a 5v2 in the favor of Quantum. But as I say, that Bakla is taken out by Tim, who is traded by Flying Telephone. and now we're in a 1v4. Xeyla is actually in passive, just watching the flank from east stairs. What surprises me is the fact that Havoc didn't drone into sight. There was 2 people on site at most. They could have just Passport isn't even fully reinforced from the looks of it. But they could have just fully opened the site. Okay, well, logic just goes for an aggressive jump down from the balcony, but site was almost completely clear. If they just wanted to push site, they could have just pushed detention with a Hibana, and then they could have pushed the other site, the other bomb site. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. I think it's called supply room. No, inspections.
But supply. Inspections the other side, but anyways, yo.
No, it's customs inspections and something else. Jesus Christ, I can't remember.
Customs inspection is one side. Yeah, sorry, continue.
The point is, there was not enough people on site to have a good defense if they just pushed site directly. Granted, Quantum did have the upstairs control, but by the looks of it, they could have planted, and then Quantum would be the one who had to retake, because there was no proper denial from upstairs.
Yeah, I definitely do agree on you. Sorry, I agree with you. But playing a Scrim with Tim once, Pat said to the whole team that second floor control is very important, and Quantum is definitely taking advantage of the second floor control that they can have over customs and inspections. But I think
second floor control is very important. But customs is one of those sites where you can just jump into the window and get a plant off easily if there isn't enough things watching it. And to me, it didn't look like there was enough. So there's not even a chance for a late flank there, because there was just nothing to watch the site and the plant.
Yeah, definitely. And Logic is actually playing a really if he does play from this angle, then that's very ballsy, I would say, because he has the potential to possibly get fragged on by Sphinx or possibly Tim. Anyway, it looks like he will be playing in customs and inspections, and Maverick is on the maestro. Now, still very confused on how to
Maverick's
get on.
still struggling to get onto the shelf.
Oh, he finally does it. Oh, telephone! Finding the kill on
Telephone actually going for a... Whoa, he went for the spawn peek onto Valley. As Xenon runs out from these stairs and actually gets another kill onto Tim. Wow. We're going to see Quantum being extremely aggressive here. Just going for the element of surprise, and managed to getting 2 kills after, I would say, maybe 3 rounds of it already. 4 rounds, but only 3 of it being successful. And it's just working now, which it's paying off, I guess. Eventually it's going to, if they can adapt properly, it will work. You're going to see Telephone actually going for extremely aggressive peaks here, but not taking any damage. Xenon running out from east stairs. Just staying out there, being detected, doesn't really care, just tries to get another pick off. And Havoc is struggling, they're struggling, but Bakla.TQ actually does take out 2 people, Telephone and the Doc, and that's just poor play from Quantum there. They got the 2 picks. They got 2 important picks on Thatcher and on IQ and Twitch. It's not necessary to go for more peaks. And now you're on an equal man count, which you could have walked away with a 5-3 man count, a 2-man advantage. But we're actually going to see Maverick take out 1 person from Armory half wall, Bakla taking out Xeyla, and now it's just Bakla.TQ left with 1 HP after Maverick has tagged him extremely low.
Yeah, well, definitely I do agree with you with what you said and how they actually did get the advantage from getting those 2 spawn peaks, and they should have probably fell back. But I think they were just caught up in the moment with getting those 2 frags that were very important.
Yeah, definitely. Eventually it did work out again with the aggressive peaks again.
Yeah, but
logically it made more sense to fall off, in case you did mess up, you weren't able to get the following frags, you still would have a 2-man advantage later on into the round. But we did go from a 5-5 to a 3-3 extremely quickly in the beginning of the round, which could have backfired for Quantum.
Oh, now you see Pat on Fuse, very interesting pick, as you know, Fuse. Well, I wouldn't say he's a bad operator to play on this site. but he's not necessarily a good operator because anyone with a nitro cell could probably counter him. But if Pat does decide to stay on fuse, which he is doing, this could definitely turn out in their favor. But anyway, he decides to 6 pick over to Jackal. Very good pick, as now he can probably catch any roamers that could be lurking around office or archives, which is definitely a site that rather area that they need to take in order to fully cap second floor. But anyways, yeah. So
You know what surprises me?
what?
There's no pulse.
There's no point. Yeah.
We're seeing pulse brought out on a second floor defense when bottom floor is probably going to be cleared out. But we're not going to see pulse brought out when the rest of the sites are all downstairs, meaning you have a natural advantage if you just stay on site. You have no chance of being killed in the beginning of the round. And you can get a lot of information onto the enemy opponents. So I don't know why we're gonna see a pulse brought out when he's more easily countered, but not when he's extremely difficult to be countered.
But I think like Quantum's thought process is more or less like, hey, you know what, second floor, they'll probably try to go for a plant, or they maybe try to rush, so maybe we get a pulse and we can actually keep them somewhere for a certain amount of time that pulse can actually do a lot of damage. And the same argument can be made for first floor too, but I just feel like first floor as a whole would be less viable to actually play pulse. No, anyways, look, Havoc pushing in through tellers, being charged nearly gets Pat but not injuring him at all, and Sphinx, instead of droning out, they decide to rush in, which may just be their downfall. Because, who is that playing on hatch? Flying Telephone, yeah. Telephone is actually playing on hatch, so if he were to drop, that would be very detrimental to their push as a whole. Anyways, Sphinx nearly getting into sight at the whole, and now they're in.
Sphinx is just walking into sight.
What's Sphinx?
Sphinx just walked into sight. Excuse me? That should never happen. We're gonna see Xenon getting another kill onto Pat. Refragging onto Sphinx after Sphinx does potato some shots. Fish getting the kill onto Xenon, and Flying Telephone refragging with a impact grenade, and Logic managing to get the final kill.
Okay.
What?
Alright, now I'm gonna just say what you're probably thinking. That was definitely a very easy side take on behalf of Havoc, but that was an even easier retake on site for Quantum.
Havoc threw that. Havoc almost had site control. Granted, they did get late flanked by the people they did not drone out, and that did cost them in the end. But they did get into sight, and from there they should be able to do much more damage than they did. They had site control, or at least half of that. That's ridiculous. They should, first of all, Quantum should never be allowing them to walk onto site like that. But second of all, once you are onto site, I don't see why you didn't take more advantage of that,
Yeah, definitely. But I think more or less the thought process for Havoc may have just been, hey, you know what, we have sight, we can play with our time here, we can plan, but at the same time, if we do plan, we have a chance of possibly getting picked off by the rest of Quantum, and then possibly, just retaking the site and defusing, and that would probably be an easier win. But maybe that wasn't your thought process. Maybe they just had another plan in mind. But one thing's for sure is that whatever they did there, whether it wasn't according to the plan that they had. Now, anyway, Pat on Valkyrie is very interesting.
Pat's just watching the bomb. Fair enough. We're actually going to go into halftime. It was 5-1 lead in favor of Quantum. So we saw Havoc take the first round, and that's it.
Yep.
That's the only thing they were able to do. Quantum from there on out were able to win all of the rounds, but I think rather sloppily, if I'm going to be totally honest with you.
Yeah, definitely.
It could have been performed much better. I think it was just a mistake from both sides there.
Yeah, but anyways, quick scoreboard check, and definitely some players are doing better than others. Definitely Bakla is pulling in most of the kills, and I would say Wade, with his KD being fairly good, and same for Logic. But anyways, yeah, so just basic take onto Amri role. nothing really changing much. But it's kind of weird that they don't bring a hard breacher at all, which we notice has been a recent trend. Maybe because a hard breacher isn't really wanted that much, and reinforced walls can actually be used to the attacker's advantage instead. But anyway, that aside, pretty basic code here, and very good claymore from Xeon. And Logic getting shot just by a bunch of his health being taken out, being left on 35 HP only, and Bakla holding very good angle onto East stairs. Now, Logic's gonna have to play his cards really correctly, as there is Tim holding in Fountain and could possibly pick him off if he gets the call, and Sphinx getting shot a bit. Now anyway, phone call has come out, and looks like Tim is gonna rotate. And,
he's still the roamer of Tim is still alive.
Oh, and Tim gets killed, or rather get dropped by
as I was saying that.
And Bakla.
Logic does get a kill onto Tim. Pataruku refrags onto Bakla, but immediately refragged by Xenon. But Xeyla gets a kill from Fountain. Xeyla gets 2 kills from Fountain, and then we're gonna see him just play and watch the diffuser, as we do see the Ashe trying to push into office. Maverick actually getting the kill onto the Legion, and now we're in a 2v2 with Flying Telephone and Maverick. Xeyla trying to be flashed, but actually not getting flashed. The Ashe actually just get the kill onto Xeyla, so now we're in a 2v1 for Quantum, and Fish is left alone in Archives. He's going to go for an aggressive peek onto Ashe, but it's not going to work out, as finally takes out Fish. And yeah, what do you think of that round? What's up?
The round was definitely interesting with how Quantum decided to play, but of course our Logic.
Brother.
But anyway, Logic definitely a weird peak, I would say. Since he decided to pre-aim for the corner rather than Fountain itself. I don't think any information was given out there, but they definitely managed to bring that back, and I think that's what Quantum is really all about. Maybe they'll lose a round, or maybe they'll seem like the round is going to be lost, but then they're just going to refrag because they can adapt to the playstyle of whoever they're playing against, and they're definitely doing that. And they're just showing that, hey, we may lose this round, but just because we lose this round doesn't mean that we're bad, or doesn't mean that we'll just be kept down. And they're definitely still fighting. And same for Havoc, of course, even though they are losing by 5 points. But hopefully they can bring this to overtime, or possibly bring this back. Yeah. Anyway, second floor hold again.
We're gonna see another armory hold, actually. I see 3 ACOGs this time, compared to the lack of on the last defense. Maybe that's what they're hoping for. They're hoping for a more anchor-heavy match. No, actually, we're gonna see the AUG brought out from Kaid, but still has the ACOG from the pistol. It's not exactly the best thing anymore.
Well,
but
actually, on the topic of Kaid, what do you really like? What do you think about his weapons and stuff? Like, do you think his weapons are good? Do you think he needs like a change of weapons, a possible buff of weapon, of his like damage and fire speed?
No, I think Kaid's okay at the place he is. To me, he's not extremely broken. He does only, of course, have 2 of the electric claws compared to his previous 3. I think that was a huge problem that needed to be addressed, and they did. Logic losing HP already. I don't know how. But, yeah, maybe just getting shot by his own teammates again. But no, I think Kaid has his SMG has been buffed. Not exactly the strongest buff, of course, but it's more viable than it was. But I think the shotgun should always be prioritized, not because of gun preference, but more so because of utility. It's a very viable gun for long range. It's a slug shotgun that can be used as a normal shotgun as well. If you can play it so well. We're actually going to see Flying Telephone have his reticle onto the Doctor, but not actually being able to shoot, as the Doc does go for a few pre-fires, and Fish finally taking out Bakla.
By the way, now Tim actually holding officers, stopping them from pushing in, and nearly gets the headshot, but decides to potato aim on Logic. Anyway, Maverick goes down, and now it's all up to Fish, Pat, and Xey to possibly bring this back. Fish holding this solo and taking out Flying Telephone. Now 3v2 and a half situation.
3v3. Dokkaebi missing a few shots. Just what? Dokkaebi just running in there with no information, or maybe some information, but not actually doing anything. She just ran in without even ADSing. So now we're in a 2v2. We're going to see the last two attackers on extremely low HP, while the defenders do significantly have higher HP. Riku actually taking out Maverick there, and it's now left in a 1v3 against Logic, and this round's surely over at this point. Logic has about 25 HP, sees the body of Fish not being able to land any shots at all, and Riku finally taking Logic out from CCTV, and that's Havoc winning their second round, leading us into a 6-2 scoreline for Quantum.
Now, while we're talking about this, definitely, Quantum could have played that better and just overall could have positioned themselves better. And definitely, who was that, Flying? Was it Flying or Xeon? I forgot. But whoever the Dokkaebi was, definitely she should have waited for Logic to pick up Maverick and then push in together as a team. As of course, once teamwork really does change the whole game, even if you're in a 2v5 situation. Just if you can communicate with that person that is with you, you can probably pull it off. But anyways, pretty basic picks. And looks like Bakla's accidentally picks the Gridlock.
I think Bakla's accidentally picked Gridlock here. That's technically an immediate win. Immediate round win.
He needs to 6. Like, if he stays on Gridlock, then that's
Technically, Havoc could call for a foul, and that's a round advantage. That's a win for Havoc, so it would be 6-3 if they call for it.
But they didn't apparently. Now 6 picking to Monty. Now that's Monty on this map is pretty good pick. Since he can just hold on site, and
Monty's just a human drone.
He's a human mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Like he doesn't have to be worried about nothing to attack him either, except for maybe the Elamine of Riku, but I don't exactly see how that's going to affect him that much, especially since the unextending animation isn't that long.
Yep.
I'm going to see the Dock and Rook combo brought out again, actually. So they're going to play for some long angles.
I don't think this is allowed, is it?
It depends. It's not using a deployable shield.
Yeah, but
it's not using a deployable shield, so it's fine. It's not a glitch. It's fine.
I thought it was a glitch. Like the sliding glitch.
Was it used by the sliding glitch?
No. Like, I'm not sure, man. No, anyway,
well, we don't exactly have a view on that, but I don't think it is a glitch. But the castle barricade being immediately taken out, I don't understand why you would ever put a castle barricade on an external window or door. It's just
it looks like it looks like Flying, Bakla and Xey just walks into sight. Same from
Maverick. Just running into sight immediately. Maverick down
sorry for that.
in such a exposed planting position, right by the rotate hole. Why didn't he go and plant there without the Monty covering him either? Svix getting another kill onto Flying Telephone, and that's 2 people down for Quantum after running into sight. So we're seeing this being read in extremely well. Xenon finally getting the plant down, as we're gonna see Havoc just shooting at the Monty without actually any thought process. Logic finally taking out Riku, as we do see the Rook pushed by the door get taken out by Xenon. We're gonna see Jaeger trying to go for the flank, but Fish taking down Xenon after the Jaeger is down, so now we're in a 2v1, and it is a 2v0 as Quantum is taken out, and we're in a 3-6 deficit again.
Now that was definitely very interesting. Since Quantum did manage to take side very easily.
That was a huge mistake from Maverick.
Yeah, definitely could have planted in a better position, which left him less exposed. But
he planted in the most exposed position he could plant by the rotate hole. That's kind of ridiculous, to be totally honest with you, especially since they did have a Monty as well. If he's going to plant there, get the Monty to cover him. If he's going to plant there without a Monty covering him, that's not the smartest thing to do because he is exposed. Plant somewhere where there are people covering him and there's no way to shoot him unless they get through his teammates.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that was an issue with Bakla, you know. With Bakla just not covering where he needed to cover for Maverick to plant. But anyway,
That was just a little bit of a communication error there.
yeah, definitely.
I guess.
Now going to customs and supplies, and you know, it's I won't say it's a controversial site, but it is definitely a site which is, as I said, you know, earlier in the game, it's a site that is hard to hold, or rather, like, it's hard to hold in a sense. But if you can get the second floor down unlocked in your control, then those are one of the sites. It's a site that you can definitely use to your advantage because of all the spots where you can run out and possibly catch attackers off guard.
You definitely need to find the perfect balance of roaming on this map, on this site. Sorry, it's you need to make sure they can't just vault into yeah, I was right. Okay, supply, stock, whatever. You can't just vault into supply and get the plant off. You should never be able to do that. The defender should never let you do that. And you can't let them have upstairs control either, because then they'll have all advantages over you, especially if they play soft destruction, which they don't seem to be doing, but that's the point still stands. You need to be able to make sure they don't just run into site and plant. You need to make sure they can't get upstairs control. So it could be very difficult to pull off a defense, but if it's done properly, of course, you can also win the defense.
Definitely, and like, Bakla on Monty again, hopefully he'll have more luck. And oh!
Yeah.
He really gets his head taken off by Spix. No, just being so long. And almost getting taken out by Sphinx once again.
Taking down Bakla to 20 HP. Almost taking down one of the capitals as well. Bakla's just going to go for smoke and plant. And oh wow, Zayla's actually going to take Vix. And now the plant's down. It's a 5v5 plant. That's, you know, that's what I meant by you can't just vault in and plant. You should never be able to do that. You're gonna see Svix missing a few shots, actually landing his final shot against Maverick, and Xenon getting a refrag onto Tim, however. You're gonna see two people by the main door, actually, but Bakla's not able to have anyone besides him. Svix is going actually for the counter defuse. Gets taken out by Xenon, of course, but Fish actually getting 2 kills. Xenon getting 2 kills of his own, and Logic getting another one in a 1v2. And Xenon gets the final kill as, I think that's Quantum winning, right?
That's Quantum. Quantum wins game 1. I believe this is a best of 3.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I believe this is BU3.
But yeah, that was Quantum just going for some extremely fast plants there and extremely aggressive plays as well on defense. And I guess the surprise factor really worked in their favor. It also came from the fact that Havoc was unable to actually hold the site properly. Alright, welcome back to the second map. We're going to see order Havoc and Quantum.
Still the same team.
Quantum's banning again, which means they're starting on defense again first, right?
Yeah, apparently. This is supposed to start attack, but yeah.
You were probably supposed to change that.
Bro. I said the team names already. They should have changed accordingly, but never mind.
No, you don't have to change sides. You can change the which side starts on attack in the settings. Anyways, Quantum banning first. I'm expecting either Habana ban or a Thatch.
Yeah, probably expecting a Twitch ban.
No, I'm expecting Mirror ban, so they don't have to ban.
Oh, Monty ban.
Okay. Banning a Monty, that's not a bad ban. Yeah. But I expected some other bans. Monty actually banned out, meaning that they can't exactly push from behind as effectively as you normally would.
But you know what? But give or take, Monty's a very, very strong operator. Like he's
definitely.
Yeah, so them banning Monty definitely could have an advantage, you know, since you're defending first. And second ban is Yang, very good pick, as you know, he can just flash the room with Candelas and then just run in. But I think these bans, more or less, are just coming out to counter what they saw from last game, even though it's a different map. But anyway, Mira and...
Of course, Mira's banned out, and the last one's gonna be Mute or Kaid, probably. Maybe an Echo. An Echo wouldn't also surprise me.
maybe.
It depends. It depends if they Quantum's starting on defense, so I'm actually expecting more of a leaning towards Kaid or Mute.
Oh, Echo Man, right?
Okay, they're going with an Echo.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you're an Echo. Your default bans, of course. You see that every now and then. It's not the most uncommon ban, and the Monty ban is what makes me the most curious, because to me, it's not necessary. Like, there's only one site where Monty's actually effective, and that would be the downstairs site.
Oh no, second floor too, because like this. Sorry, because
Right, yeah, sorry. Second floor is a hallway. So
yeah,
Monty could also be extremely effective there. But even then,
but like if
I
you,
don't know.
yeah, if you think about it, right? If you think about it, Monty, he's actually very strong up on all maps, because as soon as if there's a sorry, if there is a doorway, and there is a teammate that is there to support you, Monty is you know, it will be in your best interest to take out Monty first, definitely, no matter what.
That's
But
fair enough.
yeah,
We're just gonna see the Cav come out from a 6 pick from the Cav of Telephone. But that kind of just lurks in the mind of Havoc, you know? Is he gonna
is telephone and six. Oh, okay, dog.
yeah, 6 picks into a Dolk. But it stays in the mind of Havoc, you know? It's like, oh hey, will I be flanked by a silent operator? It's a mental game when there's a Cav shown. You'll never know. So, what side are we starting on?
We're starting on basement. And on the topic of Kev, back when I was casting Challenger League, it was the match Oddball versus, let's say, Esports. We saw Kev, you know, being brought out, and you know, Kev, she really didn't do much, but you know, the fear and paranoia that she installs onto the team is just is another level. Because if you
Yeah.
can successfully stop a team from pushing in just because or just because they think that a cab is around the corner or in this room, then you know that's a lot of time that you can buy.
Yeah, definitely. We're actually gonna see Maverick open up the classroom wall. That's probably to prevent a thermite charge, I'm gonna assume. But there is not even a way to deny. Okay. There's no way to actually deny a hard breach from going on. So I don't see exactly what the point of opening that classroom wall is for.
Well, like, because when you open up classroom role, if even if you have a kite, or if you have a mute per se, alright, you know the wall beside, you know, the wall that don't want to open. It's kind of confusing to explain. But
No,
anyway,
I know what you mean.
yeah.
But the problem is there is no kite or mute. So there's no point in opening that wall.
Well, that was the point. NT getting the hit shot onto Sphinx, you know, very much a pixel shot.
Yeah, we're gonna see Anti getting a kill all the way from the kitchen.
And
That
Oxy
does
being
get
done.
refragged by Oxy all the way in showers. But, taken down by Xenon in dining. Xenon full HP being pushed by Fish and getting another kill onto Fish inside of lobby. And now we're in a 4v2 as Patarika tries to go for the white stairs, rotate and flank as Clove just gets in another engagement with the Jaeger, and Bakla coming up main stairs just getting the frag onto Clove. And now we're in a 1v4 in favor of Quantum, but Patrico does get one frag to start it off, so we're left in a 1v3. Everyone left on full HP though. We'll see where he can go with this. There is one man playing extremely aggressively on the main stairs. I'm curious to see how this will go. We're gonna see someone pushing up Meeting, I think that is actually. Yeah, there's one by Meeting door, caught out by Patrico. We see Quantum being extremely aggressive after having a 3-man advantage, brought down to a 1-man advantage. Telephone going for another aggressive creep, and killing Patriku, and it'll be the Quantum taking the first round.
No, that round was definitely very surprising. But I feel like where Havoc went wrong is how they decided to, you know, just like please their players, cause cause how they decided to push in, you know, Fix being the first guy to be taken out, and that just shouldn't happen at all. Because when you're playing on a side like this, you know, if you have your heart breacher being the first one to be killed, you're doing something wrong, and definitely that is shown by how they are playing currently. But anyway, hopefully that was just a bad round. Maybe they're a little bit tired as it is quite late, I would say, for Havoc to be screaming. But maybe they'll be able to pick themselves up. I'm not sure whose map this is supposed to be, but to be fair, this could be anyone's game.
Of course. We're going to see the Thermite brought out instead of the Hibana. So there's only going to be 2 hatches open, actually, as they opt to go for the Blackbeard, of course, which makes sense because they're attacking top floor. So Thermite will probably open up the bunk wall. I'm just going to expect the bunk push as we see the Blackbeard play on the main window, just cutting off any rotations and not being able to be shot in the head.
Interesting thing that
Okay.
we didn't point out was they have Caveira.
Yeah. So we're gonna see Cav just hiding in the showers, not wanting, and she's opting to play for the M12 instead of the shotgun. The M12 is an extremely weak gun. It has 550 rounds per minute, and I think it does something around the lines of 25 damage per bullet. So, bit of a pea shooter and doesn't even fire. But if she does sneak up on you, you are in a world of trouble.
But where she really does shine is her Lucian. Is her Lucian? Yeah.
Louisian, yeah.
Yeah, Lucian. She really does shine in that aspect, and I'm pretty sure she can just 1v a whole team with like 13 bullets. That's all she probably needs, because he does like 62, nerfed down from 99, which is still quite an amount. But anyway, so 2 people pushing in through from small tower, repelling up actually, and there will be about to be Clove over the Ryzen and one more. Who is it? Fisher. Now, no one opting to drone out showers, which could possibly be their downfall, because if flying would probably go upstairs in small towers, she could probably find a frag, that could probably lead to the downfall of Havoc. But is now still roaming around showers, not doing much, not getting on her cams, not info. Oh!
Xenon actually getting the first kill onto Sphinx. Where's onto their hard breacher as well, and this is the problem. The hard breacher's taken out first, yet again. We're actually going to see a man on the main stairs, though, shooting, pre-firing, actually exposing his position without Xenon actually knowing he was there in the first place. And now Xenon's going to have a perfect idea on where Thatcher is. Both of them shooting a few shots, missing it, and Thatcher's going to push up aggressively. And this is a very awkward...
Oh god, no.
This is a very awkward battle.
Not like this. Oh.
Oxey finally taking on Xenon after Xenon ran ammo, but Oxey is on 10 HP. And that does end up giving them armory control. No, 20 is when it's full of the final bar. 10 is halfway.
No, it's 25 here. Banner is there. Oh, Panty finds a kill onto Oxy, refragging Xenon. And now with diffuser control, or maybe they don't know they have diffuser control, but definitely with, a
telephone being drawn out finally. Just a few pre-fires going out. And it destroys the Claymore with her impact. And just trying to bait out the Jackal here. Finally going for a rotate and getting the hell out of that hallway. But opting to peek yet again onto the Jackal. And she's using a pistol iron sight. So she's doing her job. She's wasting time. She's doing this extremely well. Trying to just go for the quick peek, find out where she is, and then going for the wallbang. It's wasting so much time, and we're gonna see Telephone hit even more shots onto the Jackal. Jackal finally going to be like, oh nah, I'll pass. But Bakla finally taking out Fish, and Bakla getting a double kill to close out the round onto Clove. And that was the Cav being extremely efficient. The Cav originally didn't do that much, but at the later seconds of the round, she did waste a lot of time of the attackers, as the attacker in Jackal was extremely hesitant to push the Cav up close and personal, because the pistol does so much damage in close combat.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, definitely playing to his advantage, not really taking the fight, but at this time not running away from the fight. He was definitely showing Ryzen. Yeah, he was definitely showing Ryzen, hey, you know what? Yes, I'm Caveira and you're Jackal. You're normally supposed to be countering me, but no, this time I'm actually coming for you. And she's definitely asserting her dominance or his dominance as the person who is in control in that situation. And
Yeah, definitely.
and that definitely just play into their play into their own, you know, advantage, play to their advantage. And yeah, now flying, going on Alibi instead of possibly Six picking. And Alibi, she is a good pick if, you know, unless you can realize the discrepancy that could possibly be. And you know, those are actually very minimal, and most of the times you don't really do recognize them, because it's either maybe the uniform gun skin, or it could possibly be something like this, as you know, he has his gun color. But anyway, that isn't really important. But, wait, doesn't allow it.
Oh, it's not actually doing it in negative form, but it is not allowed. Yeah,
I think we'll just give him a pass.
give him a pass on it. It's not that necessary. Telephone actually going for the fragging gun rather than the utility in the Keratos, so I don't fully understand that. It seems to me that Quantum just really wants to go for the frags rather than anything else. Setting up his alibis, to me, I think an alibi is most useful. Whoa, trying to go for the pistol one tap.
Whoa, what? And he actually does do
hits Clove and gets him to 50 HP from that one shot. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you just see if there's anyone actually playing in tower?
No. From what I believe, no, except for MT, who is doing a good job at wasting time.
Yeah, MT's in T1 here. Just trying to delay some time and get some frags.
Now, like, how Havoc is playing this with how their players are actually spread it is very bad, as you know, they're all focusing on one area instead of having some people come from the back, you know. And I think that's definitely their downfall and the reason that they are losing these games. And Flying finally goes down by Sphinx.
Sphinx, well, I keep coming to that. Sphinx getting a headshot onto telephone, but
yeah, and Xenon finding the refrag through Thatcher. Now, Xey could possibly...
Oh, so Xenon is playing in tower. He's playing in T3, just trying to get some frags onto the outside of small tower. And he's gonna push up into that Zulu hallway by the bathroom corridor. Does get droned out and does retreat back into classroom.
Whether now a very ideal spot to possibly plan, you know.
Small tower wall is actually open, and I do believe dining for the most part is clear, but there is one man up to play aggressively. Capitao is going to fire, shoot some asphyxiating bolts, making it so that the smoke can't actually rotate and deny the plant. Maverick finally moving back into kitchen, taking a little bit of damage for it, but not that much.
Oh, Maverick finally the kill onto Sphinx, shoot the smoke grenade. Very, very good placement of his gas canister. And Xenon, instead of, you know, taking his time to gather information, he rushes into sight. Now it's all on to Bakla and NT to possibly, you know, retake this. And Hentai gets Claymore and launched over the rail.
Absolutely destroyed by the Claymore, which was preset by the small tower window. That is extremely well played. And Bakla for Quantum is in a 1v2 situation. Still winnable. He does have full HP and a lot of bullets, but Clove gets the final kill onto Bakla, and that is the first round won for Havoc after 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Of course, it is on the offsite of Kitchen, so it's fully temperamental.
Now, there was definitely a round well played by Havoc, but it looks like Flying Telephone decided to, you know, risk his chances and you know, nearly died because of that. But you know, he risked it, he got the play, he definitely made all of us fairly excited. And just overall, that was a really, really good play from Flying Telephone.
It was extremely risky. Like, if he died, then that round would have personally, to me, been lost because of him.
Yeah. But he definitely did some damage onto Ryzen and, what was that, Oxy? What's the second guy? No, Fish, right? Yeah, I think so. We're gonna see Quantum go for basement again, but still not bringing the mute or the Kaid. There is actually a mute Kaid trick, so
you know how you can mute the hatch at first, and then you can Kai trick twice, or Kai trick once while the mute puts down another one, and then you can waste out all the Thatcher EMPs, and then they'll be physically unable to open the hatch, because there is a spot for the Electroclaw. If you place it correctly, where it cannot be shot if you go to the bottom of the stairs. So, Quantum not opting to go for that, which is fair enough. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And Anti just sliding around illegally.
Why is that round one by I do believe that it's a round to
it's irrelevant. It's practice scrim. It hasn't affected anything at all. Yeah, it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, maybe we'll just let it slide. Maybe if they did this in more harsh.
Oh no, they can't do it in any competitive play. Yeah. That's a big cannot.
Yeah, maybe harsh reaction. And Maverick, nearly popping Oxy in the face, but yet dealing a lot of damage to him.
Surviving that?
Yeah, apparently.
Oxy survived a complete shotgun blast to the face. Oh, actually, we're gonna almost see a wallbang from Telephone, and now Oxy's on even lower HP. On 1 HP there. The blue is being opened up by Lamb. Sphinx actually getting a kill onto Flying Telephone, and Maverick is dead from the beginning because of bullet registration.
Oh,
Bakla getting a wallbang, I think that's Sphinx, unless it's just my FPS problems here. But Bakla getting a headshot through the boxes, and now we're in a 3v4 situation here. As Oxy still on 1 HP, Patrico actually going for the plant there. Oxy missing a few shots. Anti finally taking out Oxy, not exactly the most difficult thing to do. Anti getting another kill onto Clove after he does go for a flank onto T1. And I think Dog's playing in Harry Potter as well. Fish getting a kill onto Xenon in Electric Room, Boiler Room, sorry. And Fish getting another kill onto Anti as Patrico takes out Bakla. And that's Havoc taking a second round as well.
Now, on a totally unrelated note, and this may be a little bit of a bias because of anti-sliding a lot, I am somewhat rooting for Havoc right now to possibly bring this back, not because of the slide, of course, but because Havoc is a genuinely good team that has the potential to 7-0 any team that would want to scrim them, and yeah, Anyway,
of course, yeah, it looks to me that they are single, very talented players, but I don't think it looks to me that they haven't been around in a team for that long, because the plays from them seem very static. There's no refrags whatsoever. It's just, okay, I'm gonna waltz in, I'm gonna die, and then I'm gonna leave my team at a 1-1 deficit.
Yeah, and that probably isn't the best way to go, because of course this is a team game, and scrims you're supposed to practice your team strats, and you can't really do that when you are just going down to to any player that is holding an angle that you didn't want to draw out. But Havoc is definitely droning out, and of course they are getting the frags that they need, as I said before. But another thing is they really do seem to adapt better, I would say, because they took a lot from Quantum once, so they know that, hey, you know what, we know how you play, we know the playstyles, we know how you like to maneuver around the map. So yeah.
Yes, definitely. Quantum is a very aggressive team. We can see that on Border. We saw that in the beginning of this map. But it seems to me that Havoc has actually adapted to that and just brought their own aggression.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, pretty good setup coming from Quantum with Pat. That was not Pat. I mean, Clove. Wait, who's pushing on construction? I'm confused. Sorry. Oxy. Yeah, Oxy. Not pushing into construction directly.
We're actually gonna see 2 people playing blue there.
Excuse me, Oxy. What?
Hello? Are you good, bro?
What?
Oxy? You good? You right there? Anyways, Oxy starting to drop. Or I don't think they're playing tower. But there is one playing meeting, actually, and Oxy seems to be able to drone that out and is relaying that information to his team. We're gonna see the oh, actually, Oxy's shield being broken, and now he's on 80 HP as Xenon goes for an aggressive peek, but Xenon also losing about the same amount of HP. Again, we're gonna see Quantum with their typical aggression again, peeking angle that they really should not be peeking normally, but they would be getting the kill if it wasn't a Blackbeard. Blackbeard opting to go for breach charges as well. It seems to me that this happens very often. Xenon realizes the wall is open. We're actually going to see, I think that's the Thatcher by the meeting door, and Xenon is not aware of this. No, the Blackbeard on the meeting door, as he's not aware of this. He turns out to be aware of it after peeking the wall. Xenon gets taken down by, Xenon takes down 2 players in Sphinx and Oxy. And that's coming up huge for them, as now the attackers are left in a 3v5.
Definitely, and the fact that Exxon get... Oh, now finding 2 on garage, Exxon... Xeon? Yeah, Xeon is...
Xenon is being pushed, as he does see that on his cameras. And just prone on the floor, watching an angle.
Oh, Pat flicking onto Fish!
Patriku getting a kill onto Fish, and pushing up to get a kill onto Patriku, and then Xenon getting a 3k for his team.
I'm pretty sure that calls for an F in chat. No, I
do believe it is called, can we get an F in chat, boys?
But yeah, definitely.
But the information was not given there. And it was just a flick from Patriku. The information was not given to the fact that they were pushing together. Patriku probably heard his teammate, assumed it was the enemy, turned around and shot. Yeah. Unfortunate, but stuff happens sometimes.
Yeah, and probably they could have won that if Pat didn't shoot Fish. But, you know, mistakes happen. You know, you just need to learn from them and capitalize on your mistakes. Those are what Scrims are for. Anyway, these aren't official matches. So, yeah.
We're going to see the Blackbeard brought out yet again. It seems to be a staple for Havoc on this map. But they're finally going to be pushing the site with more windows in kids' dorms and dorms main hall, as you would call it. Most people just call it dorms.
Yeah.
But we're going to see the alibi being brought out from telephone again. Happens a lot. No. Was there a bandit? I didn't pay that much. Yeah, there's a bandit being brought out from MT.
Yeah, MT's actually been the dedicated bandit for this whole game. Same for Bakla in the sense of him being the dedicated maestro. But
yes, this confuses me. I don't know why Bakla's playing this support role. Bakla's using usually a fragger, and it went extremely well for him on that game on board. I don't playing this support role now.
Oh, well, maybe Bakla's getting a bit tired of being the fragger, and he just wants to try something out. Well, each team has a wait, no.
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, I know it, but
yeah, I don't think that's allowed. Oh, my screen turned black again. Okay, there we go.
Good thing I told him off before he just did. Oh, and Fish getting the headshot.
Getting the kill onto the smoke yet again of Matt. How is he gonna... Oh, that's the smoke.
I think that was a wallbang.
I think that was a wallbang, yeah, but the round started. It was 20 seconds in. And Maverick's still running in front of the window. I don't get that. Fish barely droning himself out. Like, Fish just droning into the hallway by a little bit, and then puts a claymore by the, he does put a claymore by the small tower door, as we're gonna see Sphinx and Thatcher, Sphinx and Thermite pushing into the kids, into bedroom and trying to get the bunk wall open. But there is one playing an army. we're going to see Xenon playing an army and have the same setup as they did last time. Just try and get the kill onto the Thatcher or the Thermite. Actually, just run by the door without...
Oh, Xenon finding the wallbang
headshot onto Sphinx. Wow, that is extremely unfortunate. Now they're going to have to take out the bandit charges from the window on the other side of the building. And that takes all the time. As Oxy actually does lose a little bit of HP on the window. As I say that, he loses all the HP as Xenon moves into attic and gets the kill onto Kids Repel. Xenon on 1 HP. being shot to 1 HP from the main window, as we're still going to see Thermite stationed outside of bedroom. Well, Thermite's actually opened up the front wall. Perhaps Anti just didn't abandon it. As Xenon finally opting to go for the rotate. Anti wasting a C4 onto the Claymore.
I wouldn't really call that a waste, as he does find the carrier and takes it out.
Anti does get the diffuser carrier.
Now it's all up
small tower.
Now Fish could probably get this frag onto Anti if it is allowed. But gets the sound cue that he is joining. Anti jumps out, gets Fish now in a 1v4 situation.
Wow, what a play.
Pat is now left out all to himself, and Flying Telephone is the final person to get a frag onto Pat, and that is round 6, or at a halftime, won by Team Quantum. Now these were definitely really good plays, and Flying Telephone being the most aggressive person in this game, seeing how he played on Kitchen, plus how he just played there, he rushed towards the Thermite, no fear. And I think that's the thing about Quantum, they don't really wait for the opportunity to come to them, because they know that they are the opportunity.
Absolutely. I don't understand it. Like, it works, but it's a very hit or miss. Oh no, it's a very high risk, high reward kind of play, and Quantum just seemingly able to pull off the high risk every time and getting the high. And I don't think Anti actually should have used his C4 there. He does blow up the Claymore and then manages to get a kill into small tower. I don't know how. There must have been a huge explosion sound cue. But Havoc was just unable to capitalize on that. And then we're going to see the Capitao with Fish as well going on his drone. Anti reading that extremely well, hearing the sound cue and just jumping out, getting the kill.
Yeah. But, Anti's definitely putting in a lot of work, as you can see by the scoreboard currently, and Maverick falling behind, I would say. Also
getting wallbanged as a smoke. Unfortunate as it is, you should not be running in front of that window if you're playing on that site. Especially as a smoke. I cannot stress this enough. The smoke should not be the first to die, ever.
Yeah, of course.
He's such an important operator.
But now, Havoc bringing mute.
We're finally going to see the mute and Kaid. But from Havoc, not from Quantum, because it is halftime. But I'm happy with this. Why?
He has a shotgun.
Fish, you have a shotgun.
He has impacts too.
Yeah, exactly. You have a shotgun and impacts. Just use it. What else are you going to use the impacts for? The round started as he's still doing some construction work. But I 100% expect to see some plays with the Maverick, not the Maverick, the Kaid mute trick in here. Especially since there's no Thatcher.
Yeah, this
We're not going to see a Thatcher brought out from Quantum, and that's going to work out extremely horribly for them. As what? Where was Patrick? Patrick moving all the way up, pushing the main stairs, getting a shotgun kill onto Xey, and that's a hard breacher. So, without the Thatcher, and without the hard breacher, there's no way they can open the hatch, and this round is done and dusted. I don't see how they could lose this round. Hello?
Yeah, sorry for that. I thought you were gonna say some more or give some feedback, some more commentary, but never mind. No worries. Anyway, Oxy, possible interrogation coming here.
Oxy going for interrogation.
It does get it. Oh my!
What?
Now, I think this is pretty much a testament to show how much Quantum, is feeling too overconfident, I would say.
Yeah, Quantum is definitely being overconfident here. Not getting any drone work done. We're actually going to see Flying Telephone take out one person. We're going to see him take out two, actually, inside of blue. Was that maybe the call was just not given, or maybe he took him out from tower and then rotated into blue. I'm not sure, but Telephone is on 20 HP. And
he's actually very, very low, and for him to be this low and no one to even damage him afterwards, it's just it's something else, man. Now, a possible flank from Oxy could prove fatal.
Down the tower stairs. No one knows. Oh, he does switch weapons.
Oh, and Pat. Oh my, he's 1 HP. Jackal.
Pat's on 1 HP, dude.
Now,
Being jacket tracked as well.
now Oxy could possibly get a frag. Kill's
Actually
not
getting a
for.
kill onto the stairs. Nomad charge not exactly working out there. And he gets...
Wow,
What?
and what? Okay.
What?
So what happened was Maverick got the last 2 kills. I don't know. But that was definitely
How did
something.
Quantum win that?
Well,
How in the world did Quantum win that?
I don't know. I think Havoc just got too overconfident and just thought to themselves, "Hey, you know what? I got the interrogation. I got the interrogation. We know where they are. We know what operators they're playing." And I think they were relying on Oxy too much to possibly get the flank and, get majority of the operators on Quantum. But I
That
think
was probably the biggest throw I've seen in these 2 maps so far. They had a 2-man advantage. They had the interrogation, and then they somehow lose that round. After the hatch is unable to be opened without a hard breacher or a Thatcher is. That's I don't get it. I don't get how Havoc can actually just throw it like that. I think they may have just maybe they overextended themselves. There wasn't the call onto onto where the Jackal was, and Telephone really just helping them out of the hole that Quantum dug themselves into.
yeah, definitely. And Havoc could have probably played that better and possibly won that round. But I think of course, as you said, they got too overconfident. They were overextending definitely, and they were just playing as if it was a confirmed win. Well, it should have been, but that was definitely not the case. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see Patriku actually setting up a Meister classroom, obviously to try and get the Hibana pellets or the Thermite charge. We can also see the Kaid got out as well. So this Thatcher could easily take care of it now, since they did change the mechanics of the Evil Eye. If it's EMP'd by a Thatcher, it does open up halfway, of course.
Yeah. And definitely playing on this map, a Thatcher is an operator that you definitely need to play every single time. But anyway, that aside, a very interesting angles that Xey is opening up from tower stairs. As he got the interrogation from there, he probably thinks that he can pull another one off, and this is some really late reinforcements that are coming out. This could
really come to bite him.
Yeah, maybe Anti could come and get him. Now Anti,
Actually
knowing that he's
does
there,
spot him in tower though.
yeah, hopefully the call has been made that he is there. And
Yeah.
no,
Wow, okay. Oxy crouched on the towers connecting between T2 and T1, as he has opened attic, so he's gonna run around the map a lot, and we're gonna see how this is gonna go for them. Patriku actually pushing up the main stairs,
getting another frag,
and almost getting a 3rd kill, but Telephone taking out Patriku, and now it's just the Kaid left on the table, perhaps trying to Kaid trick, but that huge play is coming up from Telephone there, as he did take out 2 people on the main stairs before finally being taken out by Telephone.
yeah,
We're going to see Anti pushing into Boiler Room here, just making sure that the Cab isn't going to flank from Tower. 2 people watching that angle. We're going to see, I think that was Doc taking out Anti to 20 HP, give or take. And we're going to see a drone go into Tower, just to make sure that they aren't flanked by that Cab. Smoke canisters, micro smokes coming out from the Capital to cover his rotate, as we do see the Kaid peek aggressively, but only for a quick peek, just to get some information, as Bakla actually does take out the Cab in Tower. Telephone finally pushing up, as he does smoke himself off and trying to make himself a rotate into site. Fish moving up as the Kaid, playing with the ACOG, just trying to wallbang someone, smoke bang someone. Telephone actually losing a lot of HP and finally gets down, but I don't think they realize this because points are off, and it was a smoke bang, so they can get Telephone back up. Anti missing a few shots there, Bakla also on very low HP, and I don't know if they can win, if they can pull this back like they did last time. We're going to see a lot going on at the moment. Capital is fixating bullets coming out as well. Fish seeing the body of Anti, seeing the head of Bakla as well. Not able to get that out as Bakla does get the refrag and I win a 2v2, but Quantum with significant health disadvantage. Bakla getting another kill onto Clovis as he pre-spins his way. Telephone extremely low as Bakla does get taken down by a Goo Mine. Legion of Sphinx takes down Bakla. Now we're in a 1v1 as the Legion gets caught off guard running, but the Defenders does win as the Legion runs away with very few minutes and seconds running of time left. And well played by Legion there, almost messing it up, but at the end of the day, winning the round for Havoc as we are in a 3-5.
Yeah, well, that was very close, and if Flying had one more second, he probably could have bring that back for Quantum, but sadly, he wasn't fast enough. Now, anyway, in the 3v5, definitely an improvement, I would say, because he only took until Quantum reached the 6 point, where Havoc could actually reach to 3. Now, hopefully, this could end in a tie or a possibly overtime, and hopefully, Havoc just has a better chance to bring this back and win overall. Now, very good picks as Legion and Caveira do work as a couple.
Cav seems to be a staple for Oxy.
But then Oxy decided to 6-pick. Now he can't go back, and if
he can go back to another Cav. No, but he's opting to go for Smoke.
Well, Smoke is actually a very good and viable operator if you think about it. Because
Smoke's great. Smoke's like he's so flexible. Not exactly in the playstyle that you play him, but on the sites that you play him on. He fits into almost every site.
Because Smoke doesn't have a direct playstyle, and like when you're up against a Smoke, you're really gambling that he is a aggressive Smoke, or whether he's a Smoke that doesn't really know what to do. But in the odds that you do actually have a Smoke which is super aggressive, that can just overall it could be a disadvantage for you, for your team, because that Smoke he'll just gas wherever you're at, even if he gets if he knows where you are even slightly, he'll just gas you. By the way, hold up,
you should not be playing a Smoke like that. That's just not good for your team. As if you waste your smokes early on, then there's no time denied
now,
into the rounds.
I think Xeon is trying to do that thing, and I don't think that's a glitch.
It's not a glitch, it's a vault, you can do that. You're gonna actually see the Valkyrie camera in that bedroom through the drone. I certainly hope he did. I can't tell if that's someone playing an army or playing...
I don't think there's anyone playing an army.
We're gonna see a lot of vertical play opened up by the shotgun, I'd say, and the Nomad of Maverick just jumping into Armory now, as we do have Armory side control being established by Quantum. Telephone's actually gonna see the body of the Patriku taking out Anti as he goes for a flank. Patriku taking out Telephone.
Maverick gonna go refragged, and sorry for that. Now bringing this to a 3v4 situation with one playing into the Oxy playing in Daker. This could possibly be anyone's game, because right now, even though Havoc does have the man advantage, they do actually have the advantage in terms of fragging power, with Bakla still being on the team to be in play, and Xeon too. Now Maverick slowly pushing up through Armory corridor, just holding down the angle, sees Legion but doesn't take any shots at him. Now Bakla finds the kill with the fireball, and Ajab plays. Now shots fired at Xeon, stopping him from planting. With Maverick deciding to not hold the angle, and a flank from Sphinx goes on but doesn't quite find Maverick, or rather claim his life. Now Maverick watching the back flank for Sphinx to possibly come out, and Xeon planting, and Bakla just covering Xeon. Now Diffuser is down, and it's up to a 3v3 situation. Ryzen slowly pushes in through Kids, finds Oxy. Oxy rather finds Xeon, smokes him with his gas canister like we were talking about previously. And now a possible defuse could come out from Sphinx. Now Legion Mine is prepped there, so anyone could pop. So Mav would follow him. And Ajab goes off! Now Maverick down in Clove for Ryzen rather. And Oxy being in walk-in to possibly take out Bakla. And shots have been fired. Now Diffuser has been found. But I think that's pretty obvious, and Oxy takes out Maverick now in a 1v2 situation. Doc still on 1 HP. Bakla is rushing to find the kill, but I don't think there is enough time to defuse. And that is Quantum very barely winning round 9 with only a few milliseconds left on the diffuser for Ryzen to, fully get it down.
I mean, that's... First of all, Quantum made a huge mistake of not droning the roamers and not clearing the roamers, and that ended up in them losing 2 lives when the Valkyrie just flanked. That was their first mistake. But the fact that they won that, we'll get back to that, but the fact that they could just go in and plant without Havoc contesting them at that point really surprises me. Because Havoc didn't go for the push at all. The smoke didn't use his canisters until it was way too late. Granted, I think he got like a kill from that.
I think he got what, Xenon?
The smoke canisters did get a kill, but it did come out too late. And Quantum, they should not have been that close either. Like this site is probably the most difficult site, one of the most difficult sites to retake. Like it realistically should be impossible. And the fact that Quantum got so close to losing that, it just strikes me as bizarre.
Yeah,
you as a defender, if the plant's down, it's usually a guaranteed loss. And the fact that they almost got the defuse down really surprises me.
Yeah, but they probably could have gotten the diffuser down, but if they were to watch out for Bakla. But definitely Bakla kept on fighting and fighting and fighting. It's only Raisin and Fish, I believe, that was left. Or was it Fix? And then yeah, but only until there were like 2 people left to defuse. And that was very impressive plays on Bakla's side. As I did mention before, Bakla was definitely one of those, or as you mentioned also, Bakla is definitely one of those fraggers for Quantum who can outperform anyone on handling. And he's sure.
We're actually going to see Xey playing with the FMG9 and instead of using the shotgun, and then chooses to open some peek holes with the FMG9, probably realizing that he should have gone for the shotgun.
But anyway, this is a very interesting spot that Puerto Rico is actually in, possibly finding anyone that is trying to push in through big window, hopefully not being droned out. Anyway, Xey finds the kill onto Xenon that is sledged down from play, and he could possibly find one more, and that's actually one of those frags. Xenon going down that early as sledged, that's definitely one of the things that you would not want at all,
Especially since there's no Jaeger.
Of course.
Like a nade could have been extremely detrimental here because there is no Jaeger. And that's completely off the board now.
Yeah, of course, and it's just disappointing. And
Bakla's actually in an army already.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Oxy's glitching out.
I think Xey's about to disconnect, but unfortunately there is no way for us to rehost as it is already way too far into the game. But Xey does disconnect after Bakla takes him out, unfortunately, and now we're left in a 4v4 situation.
Yeah, well, Raisin does have probably does have the best odds of onto majority of Quantum, holding that angle through barrier. But my prediction is that Bakla's probably gonna catch him off guard, as he's trying to peek. And Bakla,
there's no front watch.
Bakla, I would say personally, he's like the king of techniques. Now, Ryzen nearly getting a frag onto Maverick, but just missing by such stunning pixels. Firebolts and smoke bolts will come out, but not yet, I assume, as he's saving them for the final push, which is gonna happen about now. The diffuser is going down, wallbangs are coming through the smoke, but no lives are being claimed just yet. Now what? Fish is staring directly
the body
at
of the plant, but not actually taking him out as the plant does go down. Hat going down, getting down and getting killed as Telephone does take out Fish. Anti taking out Clove, and now Svix is left in a 1v4 situation. He does have a lot of HP, but he should not win this. Svix does take out Anti though inside of the hallway. Goes for another pre-fire, moves up into the hallway, takes out the Telephone, almost takes out the Capitao. Does take out the Capitao, and now we're in a 1 situation. Granted, Svix is at a very low HP and does not have any time left, as he has to go for the defuse now. as Maverick's right there to turn the corner, get the kill onto Sphinx. Sphinx missing a lot of shots, and that's a lot of shots missed from Maverick as well. And that's Quantum winning the round, and winning the map, and winning the series.
The Scrim, rather.
Yeah, the series.
By side.
The series.
Now Sphinx definitely fighting those kills and bringing it back, but just not having the time to defuse. That's very
I mean,
sad.
Quantum was way too aggressive. Again, there's a fine line between good aggressive and too aggressive. Considering the fact that they lost 3 members to someone who had to retake on this site. It shouldn't happen.
Yeah, it's just very confusing. Yeah, by the way, that is the end of the games for tonight. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. I am Fasad, and this is my co-caster, Weirdo. And good night, everyone.
Well played.